Well, at the transition conference, I've just come across the communications group, or a bit of it, doing a bit of creative work on the floor. Hey, Hal, can I just pass you the microphone?
Sure. Yeah. Hi. What's going on here? Well, we're just a subgroup that's formed around looking at the potential impact for a joined-up communication strategy that might come centrally, because a lot of us are very sure that a central communication strategy would be of great benefit to those of us who are doing outreach on the ground in our respective transition initiatives around the country. So, for example, we're doing a little animation here. We've got potential two potential scenarios around the same idea. That's someone such as we're often in the position we're giving a talk out to a new audience about transition. And we're often faced with a situation. We always start a talk with a question. So who here has heard of transition? What's it about? And a sea of blank faces. And so you've got to start at the beginning. Whereas actually, has there been a sort of groundswell of a debate and discussion about transition in the media, then you could go to what you think is a new audience. But actually, there's a reasonable level of knowledge and support for the idea. And you're in a much more advantageous starting position. You're already maybe 2 or 3 days down the line with that audience as your starting position for a talk. So you're much closer to a point of action than you are with the other scenario where you'd have to start right from the beginning and bring them on board, basically.
Are you developing a new storyline here?
Yeah, I think the idea is that we're developing a kind of a couple of scenarios just to illustrate the fact that the case we're trying to make is the problem we find with being transition initiatives out in the field is that we're constantly having to re-explain what transition is, and it's a tough ask because it's quite a complex story. So really that we're advocating for having some kind of toolkit or a kind of a strategy or some sort of set of basic principles that we can apply to whenever we're communicating with members of the public who don't understand a word of what we're saying, and just to try and develop some kind of best practice in that area. So, I mean, it's very early stages, which is why we're trying to just sort of draw it out and figure out what it is we're really asking for. So, yeah.